What is up, Phyzik Nation? Welcome to a brand new video. Today is my weekly window where I will take a look back at the past week and see what's been going down on YouTube. So please stick around. We've got some crazy stories today. Stories coming at you left, right and centre. Pow, pow, pow. So, guys, I need your help. I really do. I've hit a wall. It seems like I gain 1 sub and lose 2. I hate this e-begging business. It feels horrible, but if you guys could help me out, help us get to 1,000 subscribers. We are so close. I can see it over the horizon. So please help a brother out. Let's move on from that. I hate doing that kind of stuff. So today we have several stories. It seems like YouTube is going crazy. Firstly, we have Christian Burns. This guy, I have a lot of words for that guy and none of them are nice. None of them are nice. Seriously. He is an absolute selfish scumbag. One of the worst people I've ever seen online, and that's saying something. That really is. So we'll be talking about him. We will also be talking about DaddyOFive. Seems that they have been charged with some felonies. Could be DaddyOZero now. They are literally facing 5 years in jail. This is because of the abuse of the children. We will get into that in a little bit. Next up we have ONISION, who is being screwed hard by YouTube. Screwed hard. He's started the Holy Trinity, as he calls it, which is Onichan, OnisionSpeaks and Uhohbro. He's basically cutting down his channels because he has too many and they all feature pretty samey content. So I think that's a pretty good move on his part, but YouTube has given him a community strike for something so petty, man. It's really bad when YouTube does stuff like this, but we'll get into that later. Next up we have this whole Sidemen drama. It's absolute nonsense. I could see it from the start. You'd have to be pretty stupid to not see that this is fake. So it seems like some information has been leaked, further enhancing the fact that it's clearly fake. So next up, we have Jake Paul's neighbours who have been interviewed once again on Drama Alert. This is literally fresh, hot off the press kind of news, because I wasn't even planning on doing this, but I've just noticed that Keemstar has uploaded a video where he has interviewed Jake Paul's neighbours. There has also been some beef around Alyssa Violet and Erica Costello. This is Jake Paul's girlfriend and Jake Paul's ex-girlfriend. Seems like there's been some beef between them, but I think what Jake Paul did to Alyssa Violet is disgusting and the worst thing he's ever done. Basically, Alyssa Violet put out a video where she explained that while she was with Jake Paul, he would bring girls home and be banging them upstairs, and she could hear every last bit of it. That is torture, that is horrendous, and it's an evil person. That is an evil thing to do. But he could shoot down an old woman with dementia and no one would care. Anyway, let's get right into the news. Hey guys, and welcome to not Jon Snow reading the news, but the closest thing you'll get to that. If you want to go to a specific part of this program, there are timestamps for each section in the description. I understand some people will be coming here for one story and others will be coming for another. That will be there in the description. Let's do this. Let's begin with this horrible news about Christian Burns. This all started on Twitter around Faze Banks. He posted out a tweet about his father who's suffering from some serious illness which could be terminal. A really horrible thing, a really sad thing, and no matter if you dislike the guy, this is a moment where you shut up and don't say a word. It's that thing of, if you haven't got anything nice to say, don't say it at all. And typical Christian Burns doesn't follow those rules, doesn't follow the rules like the rest of us, and just does whatever he wants regardless of who it hurts and regardless of who it affects. This is what he tweeted out in response. Don't even think I need to say anything on this one. Just terrible. Just awful. You're a scumbag. You're one of the worst, most just disgusting, selfish, egotistical in the world. So well done on that front, dickhead. Moving on. So Onision has been cutting down his channels and sticking to 3 which he calls the Holy Trinity, one being Uhohbro, another being OnisionSpeaks, and the other one being Onichan, which is his newest channel. Onichan is supposed to be the main channel for him where his best content will go. I thought this was quite a good move on his part because he had quite a few different channels that had pretty samey content, but YouTube has really screwed him over recently, and it's not often that I'm on the side of Onision, but in this case I do think this is completely unfair, and this is a good example of how bad YouTube is getting at the minute, and they are clamping down on just about everything. Basically what happened was he released a video, and in the video there was a scene where 2 people were pretending to have sex with each other, but they were blurred right up to their necks. I mean right up to their necks, you couldn't see a single thing, and from this he's gained a community strike. Wow, that's over the top, my god. Oh, hello. Got a little friend for you. Hey, seeing as you've met my other cat, well, some of you have, this is my good friend Sooty. Sooty, say hi to everyone. Sooty's a sweet little thing. He's a fat bastard, but he's a sweet little thing nonetheless. Do you want to come and join us to report the news? Do you want to talk about Onision?
Oh, I don't like Onision. He's mean to people, and he's rude and insensitive. But YouTube has really f***ed him over, so I do feel quite bad about that. I'll let Jon Snow, Sam, get back to the news now. Bye!
See you later, Sooty. Thank you for joining us. Woo! What was I talking about? So yeah, he's gained a community strike, and it's really knocked him down because this was just as he's made this new channel, and YouTube has retaliated in the stupidest way. Like, it is getting bad. It really is. So I think this is very unfair, and for all of you that don't know, pretty much every single one of my videos has been demonetized. Ad companies have taken away the ability for me to monetize those videos, and because I don't get 1,000 views on these videos, I'm literally not allowed to appeal for this. I'm just screwed. That's that done. I don't know why they've been demonetized, and there's no way I can find out. Great one, YouTube. Really helpful. Thanks a bunch. I actually don't have anything bad to say about Onision this time. His content has moved in a better direction in my opinion, so yeah. Here's a little clip from that video where he explains what's been going on.
Hey, so Onichan is dead already, and that's because of what YouTube did to me just yesterday. So I got a community strike yesterday for a gorilla video I uploaded to fully clothed people, pixelated up to their necks, like completely up to their necks. They're fully clothed, pixelated up to their necks, pretending to have sex, but they're pixelated up to their necks, so you can't see anything, and even if it wasn't pixelated, they're fully clothed. That got me a community strike. You get so many of those, your channel is dead, it's gone.
So I'm now going to be talking about DaddyOFive, or should I say DaddyOThree? Or should I say DaddyOZero? Seems like him and MommyOFive have been charged with some felonies. Let's take a look into what they are. So, Nick Monroe is an independent journalist that has been involved with this DaddyOFive case. So, if we have a look at these charges, this is from the Court of Maryland, and it is for Michael Martin and Heather Martin. If we look further down, the charge description is neglect of a minor. So, for those of you that don't know, DaddyOFive and MommyOFive run a channel where they do a lot of pranks and stuff like that, but they involve the kids in some really neglectful and abusive ways. For example, they would get each other to fight and they would film it from a distance. They would scare them, freak them out, shout at them, swear at them. It was a real horrible situation, and from this they lost 2 of their children, which I think was a good move. I'm sorry, but that was a bad place for them to be. So now it may be DaddyOZero and MommyOZero. So the charge description is neglect of a minor, and if we have a look at exactly what kind of sentences you can gain from this. So as you can see here, this is the law in Maryland. We can see the penalty. A person convicted of child neglect is subject to a prison sentence of up to 5 years and a fine of up to $5,000. So they are facing quite a serious sentence at this point. Now, let's move on to the next story. Okay guys, so I'm sorry about the quality of these images, but basically what's happened is there were some messages leaked about this whole KSI versus Sidemen beef. So basically Calix said, yeah, I'm gonna try my best without losing all my fans. So this is referencing the drama and how he's not gonna try and push it too much so that he won't lose fans over it. And then Zerka replied with, you don't need to actively beef anyone. If you're just in it and around it all and making good videos, subs will come. So they are really screwing this up, man, really screwing this up. So this has been leaked, as well as the podcast where they were literally discussing how they could make fake beef, and they put that online and now everyone's seen that. It's like, come on, what are you doing? You're only doing this to try and up your game and beat America's scene, but you're screwing it up left, right and centre. Anyway, that's all I have to say on this matter. Let's move on. So once again, Jake Paul's neighbours have returned to Drama Alert to be interviewed by Keemstar. This is really interesting because I would like to see whether there has been a change from the last time the neighbours were interviewed. Let me show you a sneak peek from this interview and we will discuss it afterwards. I'm not going to show the whole thing. If you want to see it, there's a link in the description. Go check out Keemstar's channel. His interviews recently have been pretty on point, and I don't often say nice things about Keemstar. So, let's check it out.
What is it like living next to Jake Paul recently?
You know, not much has really changed. We thought the newscast would have him and the crew settle down a little bit. There's been more chaos on our street in the last, 10 days than prior to the newscast and him getting fired from Disney. The neighbor next door, the one who has probably been through the most and suffered the most, she was the one I mentioned, nearly died from smoke inhalation from the fire.
She's an elderly woman, right?
Yeah. For some strange reason, they get their kicks off on doing shit to an old lady.
One of the parents of one of the fans actually assaulted one of the neighbors. Tell us this story.
One of the neighbors had his sprinklers on and was watering his hedge. So a lot of the homes on our street have, big hedges around them. And he was watering them from the inside. And so this guy got upset that some water got on his car. And he basically said, well, you're not supposed to be parked here anyway. And, some verbal exchanges happened. The guy got in his car, more verbal exchange happened. And then he got out of the safety of his car, and literally charged my neighbor.
Oh, wow.
Put his hands on his throat, put his hands on his arms, and the neighbor, of course, defended himself. And the cops were right there as well, so they broke it up pretty darn quick.
I'm surprised the city hasn't completely shut this down. Is it coming, or is it just something we have to wait for?
Yeah, well, I can't elaborate on what the city's doing. All I know is there's an open investigation that they have assured us is coming, but they can't talk about it because it'll interfere with the investigation.
So that bit at the start where he was talking about how the neighbour right next to Jake Paul has been affected the most. She was suffering badly from the smoke that was pouring out of the fire next door at Jake Paul's house. He is selfish. He's an idiot. He's a terrible person. He's evil. I'll go as far as saying he's evil. And I really do hope this lawsuit kicks his ass, gets him the hell out of that neighbourhood so they can finally rest and be in peace. What an awful person, what an awful group of people. Team 10, you're a bunch of scumbags. I wish you could see this video so I could give you one of these, and one of these, and one of these, and a... So, that about wraps everything up. I am currently working on a hip-hop track which involves a lot of lyrics around YouTube drama, Jake Paul and the like. I will let you know as soon as that is out and up on SoundCloud. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you've enjoyed it, please do leave a like, and please do subscribe if you haven't already. It would really do me a favor and help support the channel. So thank you so much, guys. I will see you in the next one.